the way in which we can reverse type 2 diabetes is to not let the sugar levels in the blood spike. And what that does is that it gives the chance for the insulin receptors to move from a state of resistivity to insulin sensitive state where it is able to respond to the sugar spikes in the blood as it was doing before. In my experience, the diet that works the best and the fastest in reversing type 2 diabetes is something called as a ketogenic diet. And if we keep repeating this process over a period of time, there will be a time where you would not need diabetic medication. That means you have reversed your type 2 diabetes.
Just by changing your diet.
Yeah.
Wow.
The whole idea of this segment is to make sure that the people have an understanding that it is possible to reverse and the mechanism of how it is done.
And now we get to the good part. I always like, sometimes in podcasts, I get too excited and I skip to the end. So I get to the good part.
Yeah.
So now we're getting to the good part, which is actionable steps to prevent and sometimes reverse. You mentioned that you have helped many people, and I believe you, and I am a living example of, how far I've come with, yes, doctor support, a lot of doctor support, but at the same time, just making changes in lifestyle, diet, mental health has just, it works together.
Yeah.
One, it supplements medicine, traditional medicine, so for me, this was as important as those medicines that I took. So please do share your knowledge.
Yeah. Before we move to the point where we discuss the framework to reverse type 2 diabetes, I would like to just place a soft disclaimer here that I have been doing this for a really long time. I have worked with doctors a lot. I have helped doctors reverse their diabetes. A lot of the doctors refer their patients who are looking to reverse the type 2 diabetes. So I'm coming from a well-informed, needless to say, a well-meaning space. And the whole idea of this segment is to make sure that the people have an understanding that it is possible to reverse and the mechanism of how it is done. It is not an excessively complicated mechanism but if somebody is experienced in doing it, helping people reverse their diabetes, it is highly recommended to work with them. Keep your doctor in loop because it's more of a collaboration rather than a competition here. Nobody's better than
Exactly. I remember initially I used to be scared to tell my doctor that I'm also doing functional medicine. And then it was so refreshing when my doctor told me that, no, tell me if something's working for you. I will also, recommend my other patients to give this a try too. We all just are here to help. And that was really refreshing for me to hear a doctor say that. So I think that there are so many modalities available, so many popular ancient remedies. They just don't happen to pass generations and generations to still be acceptable and popular for no reason, right? So I don't think we can dismiss any of them and close out our perspective on the many options available. I think it would be wrong.
Yeah, very true. And I think at the end of the day is all about helping people overcome what they're going through. The way, the means, the school of thought they're following doesn't matter until and unless they're getting results and they're reaching to the destination where they have to reach. Since we have gotten that out of the way, I think we'll just dive into it. Like we discussed, at some point in time, when we keep getting those spikes, the body does not respond to insulin the way it is supposed to do. And over a period of time, pre-diabetes, diabetes, and as the diabetes intensifies, for lack of a better term, the amount of dosage of medication keeps on increasing. And after a particular point in time, you have to be on synthetic insulin.
Like like always injecting yourself with insulin.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there is a path to progression there as well. Medicine is just to manage the diabetes that you have, but you will have to make changes in your lifestyle, your diet, and your outlook towards health in general if you want to reverse it. And in my experience, most of the doctors that I've talked to acknowledge this and also recommend it to client to watch their diet, exercise, and these are generally good practices to do in day-to-day life, but it is all the more important for somebody with type 2 diabetes who is looking to reverse it to follow these steps. The way in which we can reverse type 2 diabetes is to not let the sugar levels in the blood spike. That's number one. And what that does is that it gives the chance for the insulin receptors to move from a state of resistivity, has to go from that state to insulin sensitive state where it is able to respond to the sugar spikes in the blood as it was doing before. And the way we do it is to give that system rest. And the only way in which we are going to give that system rest if we do not spike the insulin as much.
Okay.
So all the things that we talked about, all the tips and actionable steps that we talked about, which allow the sugar levels to not be spiked, would be applicable in reversing type 2 diabetes. In my experience, the diet that works the best and the fastest in reversing type 2 diabetes is something called as a ketogenic diet.
Okay.
So ketogenic diet is a diet where we have high fat, moderate protein, and low carb. How much carb is allowed in a ketogenic diet will again depend on various factors, including your age, gender, amount of activity that you do, and amount of muscle mass that you have. But for everybody, almost less than 20 gram of carbs for a prolonged duration of time can get them into a state of ketosis. And what the state of ketosis is that, now like I mentioned that everything that we do requires glycogen within our body. So when we are in a state of ketosis, body switches the primary fuel from glycogen to ketones. And once we switch to ketones, some people argue that it is more efficient fuel for the body
Right.
and all those things. But keeping that fact aside, when we switch to fats, we'll not use the word ketones because ketones are derived from fat. But once we switch to fat as a primary source of fuel, it gives carbs, the system that processes the carbs, some rest. And during that rest, the insulin receptors deblunt, for a lack of a better term, and insulin resistance becomes insulin sensitive environment that.
Okay. So a ketogenic diet would be, say, if you said 20 grams carbs, what is the ratio of the rest?
So as a best practice, 70% of your calories from fat, 25% of your calories from protein, 5% of your calories from carbs. And when I say 5% or 20 gram from carbs, that doesn't mean that you have to take 20 grams of carbs and eat. The vegetables we eat, everything has
has-
some amount of hidden carbs to it. So if you actively not eat a carb dominant food source, even then you will end
You'll
up
end up
getting
getting
that
20,
much amount of carbs. Also, another thing is that it is for many individuals a little impractical to follow a ketogenic diet for a longer duration of time. In that case, you can just think of ketogenic diet as a tool to, or as means to reverse the type 2 diabetes or get a jump start in that process.
So how long would you suggest they follow a ketogenic diet?
So that will again depend from person to person, case to case.
But when would they start feeling slightly better, maybe?
So usually, again, this is estimate based on the experience. It usually takes around 3 weeks for
That's not too bad.
for the ketosis to kick in.
Oh,
But once you stop eating carbs, you can see the changes in the blood sugar almost immediately. Now, there is an advice of caution here. When you are wanting to do a ketogenic diet, make sure that you're very well researched or you are working with a wellness practitioner, because anybody who has done a ketogenic diet understand that the initial phase of the diet is very tough when the body is adapting from carbs to fat. And that phase requires to endure many times the state of hypoglycemia, because body has to first recognize that we do not have carbs
Yeah.
to make that switch. And if you are not very well informed on how to do ketogenic diet the right way, we can be stuck in that hypoglycemic state for a longer duration of time.
Oh, wow.
Many a times people are following a ketogenic diet, but they never get into the state of ketosis because they're always dwindling around that hypoglycemic state.
Why is that so?
Because
What do you think they're doing wrong?
so let's just say, as a good practice, if I'm saying less than 20 gram of carbs sustained over a duration of time can get us into the state of ketosis, many a times people unknowingly overdo it.
Mm.
And also right now, there are many products in the carb which are marketed as keto friendly,
But
but they might not necessarily be, because portion control is a very important part of it. And I personally, most of the products I say no to, those are keto friendly or labeled as keto friendly in the market. So it is very important to be well researched or work with a wellness practitioner who has experience with the diet before.
okay.
Having said that, there is another word of caution here, that if an individual is on medication for type 2 diabetes, the medication is targeted toward getting the blood sugar level down. And if the diet is not maneuvered in a well-informed way, it can further make us not feel good, because we are already having lower amount of carbs and the medicine is targeted towards getting the blood sugar level down. So that has to be treated with caution. And if you have the opportunity of working with a practitioner who has done that before, that will be the best. And also, if you are somebody who prefers a vegetarian eating, then it's going to be a little more difficult for you to do the ketogenic diet, because the amount of food options that we end up having is very limited. Having said that, ketogenic diet is just the fastest way to
Okay.
reach there. It's not the only way to
Okay.
reach there. I have had a lot of clients, approximately 70% of my clients are the people who cannot follow that diet, because how it works is that we follow the best practices to keep the sugar level down, and it comes down to a point where you have to reduce the medication. Once we reduce the medication, the sugar level will go up. Then you have to work from there to get it down. Then we get another dose down. So it's an incremental process that can last over a span of few months. How long it lasts will depend upon where
Yeah.
you are in your diabetes journey, for a lack of better term, right now. And always let your doctor know this is the diet I am following, and regular checkups of where the sugar levels are at. Keep your doctor informed, and they will adjust your dosage as per that. And if we keep repeating this process over a period of time, there will be a time where you would not need diabetic medication. That means you have reversed your type 2 diabetes.
Just by changing your diet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And if you can supplement it with workout and all the things that we talked about, increasing muscle mass, nothing like it. But I do have understanding, so it is very difficult for certain people to go that route. But if you can also incorporate that will further accelerate the process.
I had the continuous glucose monitor patch, which makes life a lot more easier because it gives you live your sugar levels. So I think that might also be very beneficial to people who will be able to instantly tell if the food is agreeing with them or not, if they're doing something wrong or not.
Yeah.
Right? I'm sure that's the case.
Yeah, that's absolutely the case. And that's a really good point that I should be talking about, because CGM not only as a
CGM
user,
meaning continuous
continuous
monitor.
glucose monitor, that means it continuously monitors your glucose, and you can, so the exact term would be remote continuous glucose monitoring, because it's continuously monitoring your glucose. And you can remotely access to what the values are. But not only as a user, but as a practitioner also, it has made my life very easy, because we have only had access to CGMs, continuous glucose monitors, in the past 3 to 4 years. Before that, how the protocol used to be, where they are, we ask them to take the reading of their fasting glucose every morning. That means they have to wake up, or at a fasted state, they have to prick, check what the fasting glucose value is, and based on that, we make changes to the diet, and we reduce the dosage and all the things. A, that was inconvenient, and B, that also involved me utilizing my experience to make the best guess in terms of what the change has to be there.
Right.
There was an error of 10-20% there, which we'll only get to know once we
Make the mistake.
make the mistake and pick it the
Yeah,
next
right.
next time. But now, as a practitioner, CGM has made my life very easy, because I just ask them to send me a screenshot or a
the graph.
screencast of the graph, and I'm able to tell them, what did you have? And then they tell me, this is what I have. Then we are making an understanding, oh, this is not suiting you. Like we discussed before, it is individualized to every individual how their body is going to react to that food, or what kind of spike they're going to get for that food. So having a real-time feedback, that's number one. Like, we are making changes to the diet now, and tomorrow itself, I'm able to see if there are any changes that's happening there. If I asked a person to have apple cider vinegar, what changes is it giving?
Yeah.
If they are going for a walk, what changes is it giving? Should I reduce the carbs? Should I increase the carbs? Are they getting hypoglycemic because of the medicine? Are they not getting? So this is a very powerful tool that I have as a practitioner. And if you are somebody who is looking to reverse the type 2 diabetes and are not wanting to opt for a wellness professional for whatever reason, I would not recommend that. But if you are wanting to do that, do not do it without having a CGM. And even if you are somebody who is not a diabetic, just has insulin resistance, pre-diabetes, or wanting to understand what food groups work for them, what food groups do not work for them, CGM can be a good tool for that too. Let's just say if I'm eating 200 grams of cooked rice, just for the sake of understanding, and I see that the spike that I'm getting with it is a lot more, even though with all the fiber and everything that I'm having, and I need to get my carbs down, then I can see the graph and make an informed choice. Should I need to get my carbs? Should I get my carbs down? Should I walk more? Should I incorporate something else? So all these remedies that we talked about, these are tools. And how effective are those tools? You can see the effect of that real time if
With a
we are
CGM.
using a CGM.
So, okay. Yeah. That simplified it a lot.
Yeah. Not only did that simplify it, but we are able to reach to the result in a much faster way and make informed choices. And it eliminated whatever the guesswork there was. And also, even they are not diabetic, just to have a personalized diet recommendation based on where the gut health is, where the metabolism is, CGM can be a good tool to understand what food is working better for them in terms of the insulin spikes or the sugar spikes.
So we didn't talk too much about PCOD. Maybe we should touch upon PCOD a bit. So tell me, how would you help?
Majority of the clients who have PCOD, not all of them, majority of them is a manifestation of insulin resistance. So in most cases, PCOD is a manifestation of insulin resistance. And what really happens is that a person identifying as woman is producing more masculine hormones than they should. So that's why when they are diagnosed with PCOD, The medication for that would be a birth control pill, which is basically female hormones to balance the equation. Initially, they will feel good. Uh, they'll feel all the symptoms going down, like acne, facial hair, and all those getting the fat gain, everything getting better. But over a longer duration of time, it may do more harm than good. For example, if a lady is wanting to conceive, they can't do that on a birth control. But when they get off, they have issues getting their periods right in terms of the duration, frequency, and in general how they feel when they get their monthly cycle, and it gets a little difficult for them to conceive, and they're more likely to have pregnancy related complications too. When we take steps to reverse insulin resistance, which will be more or less same as diabetes, but it will not involve all the medication bit. So
But a ketogenic diet.
a ketogenic diet will help, but the other things that we talked about and a moderate carb diet will help too.
Okay.
It is more lenient.
The other
for
things
them.
means like just watch insulin spikes, a more balanced, less carb, preferably ketogenic diet.
All these things will help to get the insulin resistance down. And in most cases, when the insulin resistance goes down, they find that they're getting relief from the PCOD symptoms. Their cycle becomes more consistent, more the frequency is on point. The comfort is increased during the monthly cycle, and the fertility rate also gets better. So PCOD, when it's a manifestation of insulin resistance, when applied these steps, can give a lot of relief, and in many cases reverse it too.
So now that we have all of the required information, I hope we are empowered to make the right choices with our diet and with our lifestyle so that we take back the control of our health and our lives.